if I have done my job better this time. It is 12:05 Eastern Time. It is time for the High Noon Hemp Show on the
We'll call it
Temptations Beach
420.
Facebook page, the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel should be on there as well. I screwed up for those of you watching this. I put it all. I just screwed it all up. It was all broadcast on my Stoner Jesus platforms, and it was just a whole thing. Now we're on YouTube. Now we're on Facebook. Hemptations Beach Facebook page, Jedi Hemp YouTube channel, at Hemptations on Twitter, video live and on demand when I'm doing my job right, of course, on Podbean as well for the podcast, the iHeartRadio app, and of course Google Play as well. Just search the High Noon Hemp Show for your podcasting needs. I am Joe Clare, the producer and co-host of the show, and sometimes it works out, and sometimes it does not. But I do my best. He is Beach
We're
high
here now.
above the hemp quarters in Sharonville, Ohio. Beach. Let's try this again. Hey, how are things this week in the world of
It's
temptations?
great. Welcome everyone to season 10, episode 4,
That's
Good Buddy
right, it
10-4.
is.
We're gonna say that it's high noon, 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That
Yes,
was a
that's good enough.
semi-official start this week. um, a couple glitches, but we're here now. We've never had that glitch before, folks, so don't worry. We have always started on time for the most part. We have our glitches later. So
Yeah,
hopefully we got the glitch out of the way this week.
I just
Um,
plumb
we are
forgot
here now.
to do it right. I don't know why.
I am watching the live broadcast of the High Noon Hemp Show on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube at the Jedi Hemp channel, we can chat there. Welcome
Indeed.
again, everyone. 10-4 Good Buddy episodes season. It's 112 episodes total, if my count is correct.
Indeed.
So here we go. That being said, I did start a Flipboard. So if you use Flipboard app for your news streams, which is where I get a lot of my news from, I did start a Hemptations magazine, so to speak. And so what I'm going to start doing now, because I do get a lot of my news from them, articles on Flipboard as it is, I'll start putting the articles that I am sourcing into that Hemptations magazine. So
There we go.
a lot of the stuff um, that I talk about in the news, some of the events maybe um, I get from that news stream as well as a couple others, but they're my favorites because they don't disappoint me when it comes to finding the news that I want. I like that. Again, that's Flipboard. If you know of it, if you don't, try it out. Because again, it's you can pick what news you want for the most part, as well as it just gives you headlines. But I think for the most part, it's pretty non-biased because it's just going out and picking your keywords and then giving you articles on it, so you can decide whether the source is good beyond that. I suppose. But all right, let's get into the product spotlight. 4 from the store, 1 from my door, as I like to say. The first one here is we just got a fresh batch of Kentucky Hemp Works in. One of my newest, favoritist companies since we've been dealing with them. My first Kentucky Hemp Works products that I have, they were just making little balms after their first season of growing. One of the first federally recognized hemp fields in the United States, in Kentucky to begin with. And now they're just kind of coming up with really cool. They have food products. We do the protein powder and the hemp hearts and the seed oil from them. So again, grown in Kentucky, processed in Kentucky, brought to us. The beard oil here, as you can see, is one of their semi-newer products, I think, and so we've got it on the shelves. We have customers ask about beard oil, and I'm not sure if the beard is going away because of COVID or not. But up until COVID, the beard was a strong movement,
That's right.
in my opinion. And so there's some Kentucky Hemp Works beard oil. I know in the spring I have, and I'm going to try to hold off to do it, but they came out with a couple really other cool products for fishing. And so there's always been a rumor that hemp seed or the hemp heart fish liked it. And so if you're a fisherman, stay tuned. Uh, this next product, again, is the RYOT, as they call it, roll your own tobacco is what they is it was originally. We don't do anything with tobacco, but these are little hemp pouches, little zipper pouch, got room for a little oney, your lighter, and then it's got a specially lined pocket for your cannabis, your CBD flour, um, and whatnot. And so, we've been carrying these for a long time, and they are still a very popular product in the stores. So, next one, couple new flavors of bath bombs. Bath bombs have been huge. The CBD bath bombs have been very, very popular. Um, and we've gone through a couple companies. The first company I had, she was awesome. Customers loved her product, but then I think she sold the name and stopped making them. I'm not sure. Anyway, these are 150 milligram CBD. Um, we've got more scents than this right now. I just noticed in Sharonville we have these are the two popular ones, so we have a lot of them: lavender and eucalyptus. And so, I would use eucalyptus in a morning bath and lavender in an evening bath. Um, just my opinion. You can do whatever you want with them. But great price points for what they are, no doubt about that. I don't think we've had bath bombs with this potency for this little amount of money. If I remember correctly, they're like $8 or $9, so it's a great deal too. I'll try to get those on the website um, as well. The next one, I got to bring up my hempies every once in a while because I love hempies. These are the belts, and so most stores should have a decent selection of hempies belts. If they don't, let us know. If you have want a particular color or style that you see in this picture and it's not at one of the other locations, let me know. This also is a product that I should get on the website as well. I'm sure you can go to hempies.com and buy them. I don't doubt that for 1 minute. Um, the next one, I believe I have shown this picture before, but I have been watching the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the original BBC show. If you don't know the show, carrying a towel is a major part of the whole thing. And again, these are books made into radio show. No, I'm sorry. I believe the radio show and the BBC TV show existed before Douglas Adams wrote the books. I might have to get my
Hmm.
timeline on that, but I think there is something interesting about all that. Um, I'm not sure how it all works out, but I'm gonna go back and look because I'm a huge fan. I read the books when I was in high school, and it's science, it's humor, science fiction, and they're brilliant. They're just brilliant books, brilliant show. The movie that they just made was pretty good. It does well. But anyway, a towel. So here's my towel that I carry everywhere with me because it's important to have your towel on you at all times when traveling through space. Um, if you don't know, and 42 is the answer to everything. That's where that comes from as well. If you've ever heard 42 is the answer to everything, the universe and whatnot, that comes from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So there you have it. Four from the store, one from my store door on the hemp product spotlight.
And as far as towels go, my towel reference, whenever I see a towel, I of course think of Towley on South Park. Don't
Of
forget
course.
to bring a
Oh,
towel.
come on now.
That brings
Come on,
us
kids.
to the greatest segment ever. I know you may have come on here like noon and you didn't see the show and you were freaking out because I screwed up the streaming. You're like, well, what am I going to wear today? How am I going to learn about hemp clothing? What's going to happen to me today without my fix? So I know you need it. Well, guess what? I got what you need. We ask Beach every week the most important question you'll ever hear and get the most important answer you'll ever hear in the Beachwear segment. Where I ask Beach, what are you wearing, Beach?
That's right. If you are wondering, what are you wearing, Beach? And it's always on your mind, now you'll know on this particular Wednesday exactly what I'm wearing. Bring it up to Hempies. Look, got the Hempies hat on. Of course, I've got a hemp hoodlam jacket because it's like freezing outside
Yeah.
here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I love these hemp hood lambs. They keep me so warm. I just love them to death. That's why I like winter, so I can wear my hoodlamps. Uh, got the Young Maven long sleeve underneath my Just Naturel short sleeve half button. I know I wore the Just Naturel shoes last week and trying to bring some more of their stuff out. Their clothing was just so unbelievably awesome when they existed. It was a sad day when we lost Just Naturel a long time ago. Excuse me. Got my I love bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, I love bad briefs on with my Orvis pants. You can also see, of course, my Green Spring Technology pen there in my pocket with some Satori socks and the Rackle shoes, new to us on the website. You can go to our website and order Rackles. We have all three colors available there. Hopefully, I might get a line in here in the store soon, but you can order online. I'm 11 and a half. My 11 and a half fit me perfectly, very snug. These are 6 ounce shoes or something. They're just crazy light. I just love them. And so there you have it. If you are wondering, what are you wearing, Beach? Now you know, head to toe. Ooh, hey, I like that. That's a nice little catchphrase for the "What are you wearing?" Beach. Now you know, head to toe. It's
There
hemp,
we
by
go.
the way. I meant to throw hemp in there somewhere, but I just feel like that's assumed that it's all hemp. It's always all hemp from head to toe for me.
Mm.
Um, Talking about the Rackle hemp shoes, here's a new hemp shoe um, that I found. These guys have been going around Facebook for a little while. They posted a post that said we were the first hemp shoe, and I was like, not by a long shot. um, which they agreed with. They are first to do some things. They are, they say they're the first waterproof hemp shoe, and they are also the first, and I do believe this one, the first to have a hemp insole. So that insole is still made is made of hemp as well, um, and so that is pretty cool. It's a a neat style, not unlike uh, the Rackles, in my opinion. Although they have multiple, these are one piece pretty much as far as the Rackles go, and these are obviously one, two, probably three pieces of hemp. Um, and so there you have it. They are called the 8,000 Kicks. And so I don't know if you're going to keep track. With today's technology, it would be pretty easy to keep track to see if they could actually make it to 8,000 steps. And of course they would. That would be easy, right? That's not even that many steps,
I wouldn't think.
I don't think. Um, so I'm not saying that's what they're saying. I'm just saying that's what I'm thinking of when I hear 8,000 kicks. Don't go kicking somebody 8,000 times. That's not nice.
Will they hold up
Um,
to kicking someone 8,000 times? Don't know.
that. I suppose that's the question. That is the question. I did see some comments online that the first round of them weren't necessarily the best by someone that was there, but I think this is the new revised version of them, which I am sure at some point I will break down and buy because if I'm going to talk about it, I might as well test it. Add it to the hemp collection, my personal hemp collection, so I can wear it on the "What Are You Wearing?" Beach part of the show.
Indeed.
Um, Article about the best ingredients for lip balm, and along with castor oil, this is I did find this interesting. Along with castor oil and I'm sorry, hemp oil is among the oils recommended by dermatologists to help soothe chapped lips, according to the American Academy of Dermatology. So castor oil and hemp oil are on the list, uh, and so those are two approved. I don't want to say approved, but uh, recommended by dermatologists for chapped lips, so to speak. Now, this article also said that petroleum-based stuff is great because of how it seals, and that's what it does. It seals the moisture in. Um, and I think for your lips that might be okay. For the rest of your skin, it's a terrible idea. Um,
Yeah.
and I've talked about that a lot. I think that's why hemp oil, and I don't know about castor oil, but I know that about hemp oil because it actually moisturizes, absorbs into the skin, into the lips, and whatnot, um, and moisturizes, adds those hemp benefits, protein, omegas, minerals, all that stuff. And that's why it is so good for the skin and chapped lips, as proven by the Academy of Dermatology. Um, Bad news for GW Pharmaceuticals. If you know anything, GW Pharmaceuticals was granted permission to make a CBD product called Epidiolex for kids. We got FDA approval, I should say, for Epidiolex. Um, Epidiolex sells for $1,235 for a 100 milliliter bottle. We sell a 30 milliliter bottle of 1,200 milligram CBD for a little over $100. So for $300 or so, probably about 350, you could come in and buy almost 100 milliliters of 1,200 milligram CBD. Um, so I don't, I'm not, you know, bee ba ba ba. Now I assume that I guess that's maybe I don't know if that's mixed with anything, and so we have to consider that because we do our 30 milliliter bottles are of course hemp oil with CBD in them. I can't imagine that that's 100 milliliters of straight CBD. I don't, again um, I have to question now. I don't know about that because if the math, if it's 100 milliliters of just straight CBD, then that might be worth it, I suppose, in the long run. I don't know how. I'm gonna have to look up if what Epidiolex is actually mixed with, if anything. I thought they were inhalers, but they said a bottle of oil, a 100 milliliter
Hmm.
bottle of oil, and so I don't know if it started off as an inhaler and then the oil was approved, or I was mistaken in the fact that Epidiolex was an inhaler because we sell inhalers for much cheaper than that as well. If it is in our inhaler straight CBD, then again, anyway. Um, why are they getting sued, you say, Beach, which started this conversation? Well, they are been to be they are being sued by Canopy but Growth for their actual processing, the way they make their CBD, which is some type of CO2 extraction, I'm pretty sure. But the original patent for the technology that they were using was actually filed around 2000 by a company in Germany called the C3 Cannabinoid Compound Company. I guess that's why it's C3. Um, but it was acquired by Canopy Growth at some point or another. So they bought this process from the original company that put the patent in. And now GW Pharmaceuticals is using it. The interesting part about this is GW Pharmaceuticals did in fact meet with this German company in 2016, obviously to discuss the patent or the process of whatever it may or may not be. Um, so to me, that's kind of shady.
Yeah.
I'm not innocent until guilty, I suppose. But just the facts that I have, um, makes me believe that and again, I've never, not, most of us in the hemp world have never been a fan of the move with GW Pharmaceuticals and the patent or the FDA approved medicine, and mainly because of the cost. Mainly because of the cost. Period. Um, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous cost when you can again acquire any of these products over the counter for much cheaper. Um, but anyway, we'll see how it works out because again, the patent, the formulation, the way I mean that's key because all of a sudden Canopy Growth actually now has the FDA. I don't know how it all really works. I'm just this is a hypothetical situation in my head. If that is true, then GW Pharmaceuticals can no longer make that FDA approved medicine, and I would guess that would put it in the Canopy Growth people's hands, or they sell it to GW Pharmaceuticals for a lot of money. Because if I saw right, GW Pharmaceuticals made $366 million in the last quarter of last year, or maybe last year, I don't know. So what we're probably going to see is Canopy Growth making a lot of money out of the deal one way or another. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I find that whether they can do it or however it works out, we'll see. Um, California. Again, I just don't. Sometimes I just can't figure California out. I just really can't. They're working on a new bill right now that would make it okay for CBD to be in food and beverages. That's great. I mean, how stupid was it for them to ever ban it from food and beverages to begin with, but to ban smokable CBD? Like California, the first state to pass medical marijuana laws, 1996. Okay, go anywhere in California, like every other corner in California has a dispensary for THC smokable hemp,
Yeah.
smokable cannabis. Every other corner, you go online and get your card. And this was before you can go online now in Ohio, I found, um, because of COVID. But you can go online if you were in California, and you didn't have to be a resident of California. You just had to be in California to get a card to go to any one of these thousands of millions of THC dispensaries is going to ban smokable CBD. I just don't. It's like I don't know. It's just baffling. It's just baffling. Obviously, this is going to go the way of the lawsuit, just like every other state. Um, I mean, all I can say is they're just delaying the inevitable, which is, especially in the state of California, they're never going to be able to say the government has the authority to do that. Although they don't have the authority to do it now, because again, you can't say CBD is okay in a tincture and CBD isn't okay to smoke. That's what we're finding in every state that's tried to ban smokable hemp. Is the lawsuits, the Supreme Court's come to the conclusion you can't do that. You can't do that, and it's really a consumerism protection. And so here we go in California again. I mean, it's just again, it's great. The CBD food and beverage industry is huge, and I order. I mean, I'm pretty sure, and I don't know how they can do this, but I'm pretty sure we get drinks that are manufactured in California with CBD in them that they can't even sell in the state of California. And I'm going to investigate that, but I'm almost sure that's true now. And so, geez, California taking a step forward and a step backwards all in the same breath, and it just doesn't make any sense. Especially, and here's the real caveat, because this is a real follow up to the whole, geez, what a bunch of idiots. Um, Last year we ended up with 135 million extra pounds of hemp, and so that's CBD flour, um, for the most part. Some of it I think they consider to already extracted or what. I'm not sure how they would do that as far as pounds, but by describing it by pounds, I'm guessing they are saying CBD flour for the most part. Now, some of that could be some of that weight, not waste, but and so there's a lot of hemp flour out there. I knew that already. I mean, in a matter of months, we went from extreme prices last year of hemp flour to like low bottom prices because of the harvests. Um, there wasn't a whole lot left over from the year before, but there was some. I think. We are hearing that there's even some of those numbers were left over from 2019. Um, and so again, that's why the cost of flour has come down so well, and we have a decent selection of it now because of that. And again, our customers are in fact benefiting by using it by their choice. We don't recommend smoking anything. It might be the last suggestion that I would give you as far as trying a CBD product. I would never say start with smoking, that's for sure, because our lungs are not made to take smoke. The fact of the matter is, though, if you're used to smoking and you'd rather not smoke tobacco, or you smoke cannabis already for medicine, THC, or whatever, um, then again, it is one of the quickest ways to get it into your system. Just exhale really fast. No reason to keep that smoke in your lungs. Get it out. And again, I don't recommend smoking anything, but it should be an option because it has been an option. And you can't take an option away from someone that has had that option unless you make tobacco illegal, which you can't do because you've already tried. And all that led to is making a bunch of money from the tobacco companies. Now, eventually, if you can prove, and this is what has to happen first, and it isn't happening, if you can prove that smoking CBD causes health issues, then you can sue the flower CBD industry um, for a bunch of money, because that's how it worked with tobacco. And it took so long too. It's like we've known that's what I think was funny about tobacco is they knew the harmful side effects of tobacco for 50 years before anybody stood up to the tobacco companies. Again, it's just ridiculous. Here's California trying to say that smoking um, CBD is bad for you, and I think that and I know that they are now saying that you have to have if there's any THC in it. So if that's that legal 0.3%, then you have to have a fetal warning because California has determined. I don't know the science. I haven't seen the science, but they have determined that smoking cannabis has fetal issues. Again, I don't believe there's any scientific proof to that. I don't know of any true medical studies that have proven that smoking cannabis, whether high in THC, CBD, CBN, CBG, whatever, causes damage to a fetus. Again, not recommending smoking, but um, you have to learn the truth before you can say things like that. You can't, that's what the government does is they say things and then everybody sits around going, well, prove it, but they never prove it either. Again, I don't understand it. It's like you can't, I mean, the first thing that I would do as a citizen of California is try to figure out how to sue the state of California to provide the evidence that proves those things.
Yeah.
And then we'll go somewhere. Then we'll have a discussion about that. So, again, you can't say that one form of smoke, because one form of smoke, tobacco smoke, is harmful. It causes cancer, that smoking anything else causes cancer, because that's not true. We know what the crap is in tobacco, the cigarette companies, most of them put into their cigarettes that probably causes the cancer. Anyway, so just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Um, we'll end the news on a little bit of good news, I suppose. There's a Forbes article, Life Changing Natural Supplements, and of course, CBD is on there, and it's titled, Hello CBD, Bye Bye Anxiety. And so, just another one of, again, the top three reasons our customers um, use CBD is for anxiety. That is for sure. And again, here's more validity that they probably should, and why it works for so many of them, and why they come back and continue to use the products because it does help them with that. All right. Excuse me. A little frog in my throat today. Not a whole lot of events again. There is a free webinar on January 21st called Hemp/CBD Law 101. If you go to hempevents.org, again, that's hempevents.org, you can figure out how to join that free seminar. And this is the one thing they were basing this on as well was small businesses and minority-owned businesses, and so good for them. January 14th, you have the Winter Hemp Summit virtual conference and networking event. That is tomorrow, just so you know. You can go to Winter Summit. Wait a minute, let me do that. Sorry. winterhempsummit.com. winterhempsummit.com tomorrow for a virtual conference and networking event. Um, Midwest Hemp Expo in iHemp Expo in Lansing, Michigan is January 22nd, 23rd. Check your local listings to make sure the event is still going on. I don't know that it is. The Asian Hemp Summit got good. Still a couple weeks if you want to try to get there. Kathmandu, Nepal, January 29th through the 31st. Um, Getting kind of close, and we'll see how it's going. I think the vaccine should be a full rollout, hopefully by March 25th, so that NOCO in Denver doesn't get canceled. But that's probably the real big first event that we can hope happens because it's a great event. And then again in May, we'll see what happens here. Also, hopefully full blown vaccines out there. Ohio, Kentucky, the Ohio and Kentucky Cannabis and Hemp Expo at the Duke Energy Convention Center. So if you're anywhere else in the world, you want to come visit us in Cincinnati, and you want to come to the Ohio and Kentucky Cannabis and Hemp Expo, which I think is going to be, if they do it right, with Kentucky and Ohio involved, could be huge. Come join us in Cincinnati, Ohio, and come visit the Hemptations, which is not far for. I'd have to say I'll have to figure out exactly the mileage between the Northside store and the O'Brienville store from the Duke Energy Convention Center, but it is not far. I can tell you that. Hop,
That's right.
skip, and a jump. Get your tickets now, and that way, if it doesn't happen, you can still come and visit Cincinnati. Just going to Hemptations alone is like going to a hemp expo.
That's right. There's other
Can't be
stuff, but
surrounded by
get
you
the
can't be
Temptations.
surrounded by more hemp than at Hemptations. I don't care where you are or what expo you're at, and so you don't have to spend 8 hours being there, no, or whatever. It's all in close proximity.
Hmm.
Uh, so that's pretty much it for the beginning half of the year. Next year, as we, I think, start to see hopefully some events start to trickle in. I have been seeing some of the world's largest hemp expos um, being scheduled. I forget what they're called, but they're saying they're the world's largest CBD expos. Um, Not hemp. I apologize. There as well. I don't have any questions this week, so if anybody had any questions, you didn't get them to me. Um, as far as my beach thoughts go, um, I don't know that I really have any that are spectacular this week that matter. I think that, you know, uh, 2021 kind of starting out slow. We're not really seeing much happen. Although, I do think that it's interesting, I should say, um, that we're already seeing so many states changing hemp laws or trying to change the hemp laws in their states, um, which again, is just seems to be so absurd now that the federal government's finally on board that these states are trying to go backwards with um, anything to do with hemp, which again, that smokable hemp flour that we now have an overage of in the United States that these farmers need to at least get a little bit of money out of. Um, Regardless of whether they really had a plan for it in the long run, um, you know, again, step backwards. In 2021, we don't need to be going backwards with hemp legislation anywhere. We only need to be going forwards if you live in a state where your hemp legislation is already messed up, not going backwards in a state where you shouldn't really even have to change anything. You don't have to make a law saying CBD is legal in your state if you want it to be legal. It's legal in all 50 states according to the federal government. There's nothing in the farm bill that says the states have to legalize it. That'll be the difference in the if they legalize THC cannabis, as they'll leave it up to the states. But hemp is not that way. There's nothing that says you can you have to get on board with the FDA's rules, and some of those are somewhat absurd, but um, they're still pretty open, and they're improving the FDA laws as we speak, not making them worse. I mean, the not the FDA. I'm sorry, the Agricultural Department of Agriculture. Um, the FDA is still being. They don't need to have any involvement, just like the DEA doesn't have any involvement, unless they want to go ahead and make sure. And we need to have a study that makes sure that they make it GRAS, which is generally regarded as safe. That would be great if the FDA would do that with CBD, because they should. Um, and again, and do all the studies. I'm not saying, I'm not going to contradict myself by saying just make it safe because I say it's safe. Let's get a legitimate study that proves that CBD is generally, it just has to be generally regarded as safe, and then the FDA can say that, and then we can start putting things about CBD on labels. Um, and again, not medical statements, but other statements that if it is FDA approved, it's FDA approved. You can just that would be great on a label, FDA approved. I think that would ease a lot of people's minds as well, and it's a move that eventually has to be made. So quicker as opposed to later, in my opinion. Um, so there you have it, folks. My beach thoughts in 2021 or this week are: let's not go backwards with legislation. Let's continue to move forwards where we need to, and just leave it alone where you don't. Remember, reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having temptations?
See y'all next week at noon, even.